The Ironheart pulses are stock, which means he must have put it back inside the quantum storage box used by the Descendants. We cannot allow Jeremy to take the Ironheart again. That much is certain.
Looks like... powerful enemy has appeared. You should focus on the battle for now. I'll deliver the info about Jeremy to HQ. If they have any new intel, they'll send it to us. Jeremy said that the fungus in this area have been enhanced with high-quality DNA. To analyze the differences between them and regular fungus, we'll need to secure genetic samples for comparison. I really hope this has nothing to do with that old Colossus corpse. Go and collect fungus samples and place them in the supply box. energy on the surface of the Kuiper. This is definitely different from regular Kuiper. Join me at the outpost for a moment. There's a lot to discuss concerning the Vulgus and Kuiper. I know the pursuit is urgent. There's just a few things I'd like to highlight. So this is the enemy's Kuiper story. Jeremy mentioned Kuiper as well. We need to destroy the vault and break down the Kuiper. We'll be able to identify the key characteristics of the Kuiper composition using the remaining particles and debris. Of the Kuiper. This is definitely different from regular Kuiper. This operation must succeed. Regarding Jeremy's defection, the plan is to capture him alive and carry out a detailed interrogation. However, after analyzing the characteristics of the Vulgus DNA and the Kuiper, I think we need to understand Jeremy's motives first, so that we can be 2 steps ahead of him. First off, from the Vulgus DNA collected here, we identified malignant cells, those which have been exposed to void energy. Well, we'd call them malignant cells, but for the Vulgus, they're more of a genetic enhancement. They give them higher bone density and muscle growth. And we've detected high levels of void energy in the Vulgus Kuiper you discovered. To humans, this affected Kuiper is highly contaminated material which cannot be processed and used for any products. But for the Vulgus, it is enhanced Kuiper. Can you see the connection? Both the cells and the Kuiper have been altered as the result of exposure to the void, and both are needed to create enhanced Vulgus. I'm not sure why Jeremy needs them, but I do know where we can find them. The Abandoned Zone. Throughout Ingris's history, it's been identified as the first area to be connected to the Void Dimension, and the worst source of contamination is located in Echo Swamp. That's where we need to go. We can either overtake Jeremy, or at least find traces of him. Huh? Hold on. That's the emergency comm signal.
Is anybody there? This is Essimo. We can't move. We're surrounded by enemy forces.
Essimo, what's your location?
I'm at the Abandoned Zone. I was sent here on a mission to destroy the Vulgus facility. But at this rate, I'll be the one being destroyed.
This operation must succeed. Essimo! Essimo, please respond! God damn it! We've lost contact.
I am definitely detecting a very minute presence of RK in this zone. I appear to be unable to transfer my consciousness into it. This narrows it down to 2 possibilities. Either this is Jeremy's RK, or the RK of Essimo, who is unconscious.
We can't miss this opportunity.
Descendant, this is number 17. Essimo may be being held inside this facility. I'm going in. I won't be long. Hold the attention of the Order's forces for me. There's movement in the pattern of the enemy forces. They may be waiting for reinforcements. is almost complete. Hold on just a little longer. Enemy target identified, but it doesn't seem to be a commander located. Take them out of here. Inner facility survey complete. No signs of SMO or any conflict. I'll need to search a different zone.
If we follow SMO's traces, we should be able to find Jeremy as well. It's not that far.
The RK is fading. We must move quickly.
Isn't the smell of gunpowder? As you know, my mission was to remove the source of the contamination in the abandoned zone before it spread to Albion. Where you rescued me, near the pipe there, my unit and I were looking for the source of the contamination connected to that pipe. We were on the verge of finding it. But the soldiers in my unit started getting sick, one by one, from some unknown disease, while the Order of Truth seemed to be getting stronger by the day. You know I have a sensitive nose, right? Well, my soldiers and the enemy smelled the same to me, but their symptoms, how the disease affected them, were the opposite of each other. It doesn't make any sense. Once I figured that out, I didn't just sit on my butt. I mobilized all of my men who were able to move and scoured the nearby area. That's when they turned on me. I knew I shouldn't have pushed them so hard. Jeremy showed up, and you know what that idiot said? Albion considers all of you to be expendable. Follow me, and I'll give you power. Let's take down Albion together. It sounded like a bunch of hogwash. But then he took out the Ironheart. And it was the first time any of us had seen something that had seemed like just a rumor. To be honest, it was also the first time I'd seen the real thing in person. And even I thought it was pretty extraordinary. Though because I'd been connected to the guide from the start, I didn't fall for Jeremy's speech. But when that bastard said what he needed for his plan was nearby, one by one, my men pointed their guns at me. What did Jeremy say it was again? What he needed? That's right, a seed storage. And I knew the source of the contamination was there too. My nose told me. You're planning on going to the seed storage now, aren't you? In that case, focus on finding Jeremy. Destroying the source of the contamination, the seed storage, was my original mission. I'll try and recover, and get back on track with that as soon as possible. I'll make sure to blow up whatever it is that Jeremy is trying to get his hands on.
Decima warned us that the Vulgus here are stronger. Please be careful. The enemy is using a narrow tunnel. We need to go through. strange. The enemies stationed at the entrance appear to be intact. Jeremy must have been able to evade them. This must be the high-density Kuiper that Jeremy mentioned. By human standards, this is contaminated waste. It is also identical to the substance mentioned in Alzaroke's autopsy report.
What? So what you're saying is Jeremy took it?
There are no access records on this terminal for anyone aside from us. That is all I can discern for now. We must explore deeper. I will focus on detecting pulses from the Ironheart.
Finalize the detonation of the facility, while you eliminate the enemy forces. Powerful enemy units have been deployed to protect the Kuiper. Please be on your guard. Based on data analysis, the high-density Kuiper produced in this cave was used to enhance the Vulgus who occupied this zone. The Vulgus made a lot of effort to enhance their forces. I admit it. Essimo was right to follow his nose.
The question is, why does Jeremy want this? The substance cannot be used by humans. There are no signs of Jeremy here either. It may be because of the contamination. No. The density of the Kuiper was too low for that.
Jeremy was after high-density Kuiper, and he didn't touch any of this. Check the total amount of Kuiper within the facility.
Is Albion suddenly interested in the Kuiper I refined? How surprising.
There is a larger Kuiper deposit on the other side of the facility, but you should focus on eliminating the enemy first. The scale and density of the Kuiper on the other side of the facility is enough to create Alzarok-level Vulgus for centuries. It probably contains a high level of contamination.
What? Okay, everybody get out. I'm going to blow it to hell right now.
SMO, don't blow it up yet. Jeremy might still be inside.
Enzo is correct. We have not found any evidence of Jeremy at any of the other Kuiper deposits so far. There may be signs of him on the other side of the facility.
Right is right. Jeremy will probably be after the Kuiper with the highest density.
That you came all this way in person, Descendant. I'm curious about the effectiveness of the enhancements to my forces. Would you be so kind as to test them for me?
This Vulgus commander seems to be saying we are the first to arrive. Descendant, we must secure this area before Jeremy can.